are.
Okay. Excellent connection. It's been 52 seconds. Okay. Hopefully the couple people that were in the last one will figure it out and find this new one. Alright, is there anybody in here?
It doesn't look like not yet.
Okay. That might be an issue because I basically launched a live stream and then deleted it. So...
They'll come back. You just gotta give them a minute, baby.
Okay. So, I wonder if I should just continue on, like, or wait for someone to show up.
There you go.
Ah, okay, cool. People are here. Hello. Sorry about that. I basically was trying new settings. I was talking with some AI and I was getting some advice and just basically deleted that and started over with the configuration wizard, and it looks like it's working. Does it look okay? I'm in focus. Okay. Sorry about that. I just basically 5 minutes of talking and asking if, wow, my bald head is going to be right there. I wish I had something a little bit higher, like around this high from my foot. Okay, I am making a new sculpture. This is a new project. I'm making the armature to a dragon, or not a dragon, a dinosaur, which is kind of like a dragon, I suppose. I'm going to be using some of the materials that you're familiar with. This is the clay. This is all of my green. I conditioned this up nice. I softened it up a little bit to get it good. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to cover my foil with electric tape this time. Because last time I was using masking tape, I was going around a curved surface of that lizard's tail. And it's just, it doesn't flex, it doesn't bend. And it was just so hard to do. This is very flexible and it's rubber also. I mean, it's the same material kind of. And it's going to be completely enclosed in clay anyways, so it really doesn't matter. And if you want to, yeah, thank you, honey, for helping me get going. Bye, Willis. And Tigger's okay. He's gonna sleep there all night. Here, you shut the door for me.
Yep. Come on, Willow. Come on.
Thank you again. I love you. Okay. All right, I'm back. So this is going to be the head of the dinosaur. I had made this with epoxy sculpt. I did a few little pieces, and if you remember, the large one I made that piranha plant, well, the killer whale baby venom thing. And this was just another little one. I didn't want to waste that epoxy sculpt. But the shape of this is a little off. It's very rounded, and it'd be good for like a turtle or a frog or perhaps some kind of dragon or something. The dinosaur that I'm wanting to do is basically the good dinosaur. It's a green dinosaur from Pixar. And this is a lot better of a shape. It's kind of squared off a little bit because it is like a polygon based creature, and I just feel like this would work a lot better for me. And I was going to use epoxy sculpt again, but I got to thinking not everybody has the epoxy sculpt, and I should try something different just to see if I could make it more compatible with materials you may already have. So in case you haven't bought epoxy sculpt, you can make a pre-armature with this. Cause clay back when I was testing cosplay, I discovered that it does not corrupt unbaked. Like baked cosplay does not corrupt fresh cosplay. So if I add more clay to this and I let it sit for a month, it won't rot. I do know that Sculpey Primo and Super Sculpey both does that. It corrupts, and I can't vouch for all the other all the other brands, but I have discovered that the cosplay doesn't do that. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm going to make the armature for the head. I want its mouth to be able to open like I've been doing lately, and I'm just using the cosplay because when I create the new thing on here, it's not going to be stresses and stuff. It's not going to cause it to crack or whatever. It's going to be completely encased in clay. So if you're curious, can you wrap this around foil, electric tape, and cover it in clay and it'd be okay? We're fixing to open this up and actually find out right now. Because I did this earlier today. I baked it in the little toaster oven. And at 275 degrees, did it for about 15 minutes or maybe a little longer because it is an unfamiliar device. Normally I use the oven and it's not that critical. I just need it to be baked, and it's going to get baked again when it's all finished. And right now I'm trying to carefully cut along that perforated area that I already cut, obviously without cutting my fingers off. And right now would be a bad time to cut myself because I am on aspirin. I'm actually nervous about sharp objects now because it thins your blood out, and it's helping me with, you know, my current thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Why do chats keep disappearing? Okay, the chat is disappeared because, oops, I just hit that with my head. The chat disappeared because the video was deleted. I made a stream and the settings were all wrong, and I deleted that. This is a new stream actually, so the chat obviously would go away with that. But I do believe you asked what happened to the lizard sculpture? Am I correct? I'll give it a moment because it's about 15 seconds lag. So I'm just going to open this up, try to separate it. And you know, I didn't think to put like some Vaseline or something on the electric tape to help aid in removing this. I actually was just using clay at first to make it even more smoother and more defined. Then I was going to put epoxy sculpt on top of that and then remove the shell later. But then I had the idea of why not just try this material, and worst case scenario, I can use this one. So I'll make it work. I don't know if that answers your question. Using a little bit of Vaseline, coating this in Vaseline would have helped in removing this. So I don't want to tear it. It shouldn't tear, being the nature of the type of clay. And this is very thin, so 15-20 minutes was plenty of time. There, I'm definitely cut through it all the way. I need something a little bit firmer than that thing I was just using. That palette knife is very bendy. Yeah, hindsight's very clear. And it's almost funny because it doesn't help you at the moment. There we go. Starting to come off. As soon as this pops off, we'll be able to see inside it and how it did. And I'll let you know if I feel confident about using it. I think every now and then my neighbors have like a derby out in their yard. And tonight might be one of those nights. So I don't know if that's gonna be noisy or not. But the camera is right above my head and I got the volume, the gain up by 1. It doesn't look like I'm clipping on the... Why do chats keep disappearing? So are you with me? Ann Nilsson? Is it Annie or Ann? That looks okay. So it has the rubbery characteristics where it bends like you would expect, but this could be like the bottom jaw, which I could fill with clay and teeth and tongue, and this would be the top. Let me try to get this out now. And if you're wondering if you can use electric tape instead of masking tape, you absolutely can. Your armature should be completely enclosed in clay anyways, for starters, and it'll live inside your sculpture pretty much forever. But this serves the same purpose as the masking tape. It's basically just to keep all the foil under control and not be too crazy. Also, if you took all the clay off, it won't have pieces of foil in it, so it's for cleanliness too. And I'm only struggling with this because I didn't use a releasing agent like Vaseline or something. Cracked right there, just a weak spot. Oh, it's because that black tape actually went to the surface right there. You can actually see it, which this is the back side anyways. It doesn't matter. And even if it cracked in the other side, I could still probably work with it. I'm gonna try my best not to damage this though. Let me see. I'm putting a lot of stress on this clay. I think this is a good testament on how durable and forgiving it can be. Anyways, I'm not trying to give it a durability test. I'm just trying to move on here. And it looks like I did. Yay! So I wanted that to be a lot cleaner so you can kind of view this core piece. But you can see where the clay covered it. It's just as you would expect. And when I was wrapping this, because the electric tape is stretchy and bendy, it's really, really nice. So when I go to cover the dinosaur's armature, I'm going to use that stuff. But you can see the bendiness of it, and according to the rules of cosplay, excuse me, is you can't like apply a stress to it. Like you can't make it go like this and then bake it again, because then it'll crack down here. It'll instantly release any kind of tension that you put on there. So I don't believe that's going to happen though, because plus it'll be completely encased anyways. But this will be the bottom, let's see, that's the back side, and that's the back side. Okay, so it'll be like that. It'll have its mouth open, about like that. So yes, this will be the this is probably the most complex part of this, and the rest of the armature will be standard, which you normally would expect, which I'll go ahead and get started on. If I could put this to the side. We didn't need to use this. This is probably just as hard. I probably should have to, get this out. I'm going to start using some kind of releasing agent when I'm doing some intricate things like that. Dynamic armatures, so to speak. And am I getting my bald head in the way? It says we got a couple people on right now. And still just one comment. I answered the question, why do chats keep disappearing? If somebody wants to say hello to confirm that the chat that it's okay, that would be nice. I do believe it's because I deleted the other stream. That would obviously make the chat disappear. I keep hitting my head on this. I don't really need that indoors, and it gives me more space. Okay, starting the armature. This is the green. This is all of the green I have. I conditioned it today. It was like a really hard brick, and I added softener as I went. It's a very good consistency. I got my pasta machine in front of me to, loosen it up if need be. This is just a darker piece of green. I thought maybe I'd do warts or freckles on it. I may even make it darker. This will be for in the mouth area. It's a very fleshy, this is that soft dull clay material. It's still cause clay, it's rubberized. A piece of black for the back of the mouth to make it look like it's hollow, or to get the illusion like it goes down into a throat. This will be the tongue, but it's not going to be this red. I'm going to mix it with probably some of this. I want it to be pink, actually. And this will be for teeth, a little piece of white. So got those explained. That's all cause clay, which is a polymer clay, which stays soft forever until you bake in the oven, and then once you bake it, it's firm forever. Okay, moving on. I wanted to show you the picture I'm using for reference or inspiration, but I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike just showing a photo. I printed it out, but I'll just tell you what it is. It's the Good Dinosaur from Pixar. I'm doing a casual cartoon like dinosaur. It's not like I'll do a realistic one another time, but it's the scene where he just meets that little wild baby-like thing, the mini Tarzan, and he's leaning down and he's saying hello or whatever. He's on all fours and looks all happy and his mouth is open. It's that scene. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I lost my viewers. Oh no. But I guess I will just keep going, because I need to. Okay. Ah, we got another viewer. Yay. For a second there was nobody. Hello. I just explained everything already. You can watch it back, I guess. I'm making a dinosaur. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. I realize it's the weekend and there's probably better things to do than to be hanging out with me. Right now I am making an armature for a dragon, or a dinosaur, which is, I guess, kind of like a dragon. and I'm just trying to bend these wires like I'm gonna spin them around each other, or try to. Most people use copper to do this. It's a lot more merciful, easier to work with. I'm just I had bought this galvanized wire a long time ago, and I'm just trying to use it up, basically. But I'm gonna spin it, just braid it, I guess, along where the body will be, pretty much. Okay, so right here, see if I can get it to start spinning. And I'm in the shot. That's good. Now, it don't need to be like spun out a lot of times, but if I do it a few times, I don't want the wires to be moving around independently. So see how they all are kind of together now? That's good. And from here I can just start doing my bending however I need to. These are obviously longer than they need to be. I can cut things down. I'll have the head and the tail on this, and these will obviously be the 4 legs. So to get started, I'm just doing this all by eye as well. Not really doing any measuring or anything. Hello, hey Kayoline, nice to see you. I'm streaming again a little bit earlier. I was aiming for 8, and just all the running around and stuff, I wound up getting out here a little later than I wanted to. So this is where they're all joined, all 3 of these wires. If you do 3 wires, it gives you 4 legs and a tail and a head. And that, for me, that works. But this is really all it needs right here. They're all locked in. This is several wraps. It's enough to have this all locked in. And I can have it to where it comes out and then comes down. Like, I know it's gonna have a body. So let's do that. I'm just gonna kind of start bending. And we're freestyling this. I normally use measurements and all that. So this is kind of interesting, I think. It's new for me. And basically here's the hips, or yeah, the hips. See how that gives an area for the body? And I can even go out further, have it maybe like flat like this. Now they're out quite a ways. I want it to have a decent sized body, so that's what we'll do. Alright, it's taking shape. I'm glad it's a bit earlier. Sorry I had to leave before the end of the last one. Oh goodness, you know what? It was too tired for me too. I was right there with you. I couldn't believe I streamed so long. I don't know how long I'm going to stream tonight. I'd love to have this armature made, you know, by sometime. Basically, it's getting the bones, but this is the bones. This is the armature. Well, part of the armature. The rigid part. See, we have movement here. Which I suppose is okay. I could try to give it one more wrap. Spin it one more time. If I pinch it right here. I'm going to just see. I'd have to go all the way around one time. Well, not really. I could just rebend these wires. And this is not the greatest for grabbing something. Looks like I got it. Now these little wraps are even closer together. It actually created a braid. And it looks like it did the trick. It's not. It still does it a little bit. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Because by the time I get foil on here and all that other stuff, it's going to be fine. So, let me restore what I had. Now before I go to bending everything, I suppose this was the head I was going to do. That's kind of like where the head would go. And the tail goes out and down like this. Now the legs obviously are going to have some bends in it, and I may have to clip this some. I was just basically trying to determine the width of the hips. And I don't want it to be too widthy, too wide. So I'm gonna just try to match both sides. See how that looks more uniform? These are the same, roughly, just visually looking at it, they're kind of the same. I'll do that in the front here. See how this is real rounded and they're not it's kind of rough. We will fix that. So I'm gonna unbend that and just kind of maybe match the front or the rear a little bit. There, we got, it gives a considerable amount of area for the body. And I don't know if people like to make armatures. Some people, I would suppose, don't like this part because it could be, maybe it could be frustrating or difficult or confusing. But I don't mind it too much, to be honest. And this looks like about the same. Alright. It's probably still rather wide, but we won't really know until we start bending everything. And they are a little close together, so I can go like this to make them further apart, which that helped quite a bit. That'll also reduce the width a little. Let me do it in the front too. Alright, we got this. We have a armature anyways. Starting one. And I want to get this bent really close before I start applying foil, because I figured that would be a lot better than trying to dig into foil to rebend these wires. So, assuming this is the back leg, it looks like we have, now I'll leave this corner here, but I'll create a new angle. We're going to go back a little bit, like this. Same with this side. And I'm only looking at a single photo, so I can only go with you know, what I'm looking at. So that's the hip, and I know I just bent that way, but I'm gonna go out this way, and this midsection right here is where the knee will be, which just goes back like that. Already that little bit right there gives it way more characteristic. Alright. Alright. And I will do the same. I can't really see the other side, but I'll do the same. And I know I said I wasn't going to pull measurements, but I do want to make these the same. It's just under 2 inches. From that bend. From right here, it's 1 3/4 inches. So from the top of that thing, be right here. Just using a ruler to kind of give me an idea. And a slight bend will let me know where the knees are anyways. Now I can bend this more and more as I go. So now let's work on the front, finding the knees, so to speak. I might as well do it the same way that I did the rear. So I'll bend this forward like this, and we'll give it the same length, which is roughly, if I don't do this angle right here, there's a little short angle where I just grabbed it with the pliers, and then this piece is how long? That is actually 1.5 inches. So let's do that over here. From here to here, 1.5 inches. And I'll just give a slight little bend that tells me where that knee is. And I'll do this the same way. It's like I'm almost going for an extra little area up here, another bend. I don't know why. It's not necessary, I can tell you that. It's just something that I'm doing. So down here, 1.5 inches is right. Y'all can see that. It's a pretty good angle, I suppose. 1.5 inches is right here. So I'll do any kind of bend, something, just to show me where that angle is. Alright. This was the rear, and this is the front. And I said I just wanted to get some kind of bend there. It's actually backwards. These go out, it actually goes out this way. Forward here, and back or out like that. And over here I'll do about the same. Trust the process. It doesn't look like I'm doing much right now. I have my knees on here. These are obviously different lengths too. I just used 3 really long wires. So if I want to make all these the same, or where I can go ahead and trim this now. What I'll do is I'll do 2 inches in the back, which brings me to right from this angle, this knee. 2 inches is right here, and right now I'm just gonna bend it and get it out of the way. I'll leave it there because it could be extra for the base, you know, for the foil and stuff. Let's do that on the other side. Picking a measurement and being consistent, you know, doing the same on both sides will obviously help. when it comes to making stuff like this. So those two are now kind of the same length. I can adjust it by bending these hips up and down and stuff like that, obviously. So in the front, I may choose to go a slightly less length. I did what? In the back I did it 2 inches? Okay, so in the front, why don't we do 1.5 or 1 inch and here's 2 inches. So I want it to be a little less. That's 2 inches right here from thumb to thumb. This would be a 1/4 inch less. 1/2 inch. I don't want it to be too significant in difference, but it does look like it's way bigger in the back than in the front, which is probably not how it would be in real life dinosaurs. This is a cartoon, so obviously it's going to be not, accurate. So if this is 2 inches, I will go 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch seems too scared to do something different. I'm going to do 1.5 inches, which is right there. Like I said, I can maybe bend some wires later or whatever to change it. Let's see. On this angle, 1.5 inches is right here. I just use my thumb tip to show me where it is. Alright, now we got the lengths and stuff kind of figured out. This is the tail and this is the head. Okay, just checking the comments. So this would be a knee. This is a knee right here. A knee. This is a knee. But this goes almost in the same pattern as the front, which is like that. So I held it here and I'm grabbing it by the knee and just pull it basically in the direction that I'm wanting, which is in the front, like that. And this may come out a little bit. It's almost like a wide stance. And right here, which I can't see, it looks like it's maybe like that. And to get it on the ground, I can just adjust the hip right here. So now those two are touching, all 4 of them are touching. And it's actually, it is a pose, but we just need to make sure, like, is it the pose that I want? So that goes, I'm looking, I want to show you the picture so bad, but I don't want to get in trouble for showing a piece of copyright material in a video that I'm trying to earn money from. People are really weird about that, and I try to follow the rules as the best I can anyways. So if you want to see the image, if you're on desktop or something, or you can bring up another tab on your phone and just search the Good Dinosaur, and the image where he just meets that little wild child like thing, and he's leaning down to say hello or something, and he's got his mouth open, he's all smiley. That's what I'm looking at. So this, I like this. This looks pretty much like what I'm looking at up there. This comes down more because it actually seems humped up in where goes up high in the rear, which I did not do that. To get more height, I can just lower these hips, which I'll do really quick. Let me get a little bend on that. These are 3 wires. Oh, I got a gnat. Oh no. I remember I was filming the other day and there was a gnat in here and it was terrorizing me and about drove me crazy. So this tail obviously doesn't need to be this long. And instead of cutting it off, I'm just going to fold it over much in the same way I did the other things. That just gives more for the foil to bite onto and whatnot. It's still a little long, but we don't know, like it kind of comes up like this and then it comes down. Now it's off the floor. Right? It is, and it's an, I promise you, okay, cool. Yeah. I probably could make it exact. I once looked at a picture of Eeyore holding balloons, and it was just this blurry image, just one profile view of it, and I swear I hit it. I just knocked it out of the park. It was really, really accurate. Same thing with the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. There is a video, I don't know what video that is. There's both copyrighted things. They're my older videos, much older, like back when I first started. But it's just a testament of just using a single image, it can work. Gotta be careful not to drink in that. Okay, so just double checking my wires really quick. It looks like he's leaning forward, like he's not sure about what he's checking out. So he wants to have a wide stance so he can run off or something really quick. And he's spread out to help with center of gravity, I suppose. Just trying to understand. That's just me trying to understand what they did when they're making this, like what they're thinking. The pose itself, it's easy to just look at an image and be like, oh yeah, it's that. But then when you go to recreate it, you're trying to figure out the angles and stuff from a two-dimensional. So I'm going out a little bit further with this, and then back in. This is the knee. Right here is the knee. And down here, I'll probably take these little wires that I folded up and they'll be made into a foot of some sort. But for now, we'll just keep that like that. This needs to come up a little bit. It looks really weird. So I'll hold it like this. And I had 2 needle noses. Here it is. It's a lot better than the ugly old pliers. Alright, using 2 needle noses, which will help. And I had just said I wanted it to come forward a little bit, like this, so that's what we'll do. And it's starting to look humped up and like it's humped up in the back, which is kind of what I was going for. Like I said, I can get more height and stuff by just messing with these hips. I can go like this a little bit and make it even more. See, that's even more, which is a lot closer to what I'm trying to do. That's looking good so far. We still have a little bit of movement there. It's not a big deal. Once I get all the foil on here, it'll really, really lock it up. And I have something gross on me. Oh, these pliers. It's oil, I guess. Let me wipe that off. That way it doesn't get on the clay and stuff. Alright. Hopefully we're moving along okay. Ooh, and there's 3 people here. The last stream, I think we had 2 people the entire stream, which is okay, you know. It's certainly better than no people. And I would make the video anyways because someone can watch it later, which people do. I can tell in the analytics because of the watch time starts basically after you upload it. Alright, anyhow, I'm going to do something with these wires I just folded up and make a foot, where I'm going to attempt, I'm going to open it back up like this, like at a 90, and then I'll hold it right here, and I'm just thinking I can spin it around. I'm going to grab it like this. How did that do? It did great. It's backwards, but it's the idea of what I'm going for. So let me just twist it around. Nice. That worked out quite well. And it's flat. Wow, I'm getting lucky. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually skilled at what I do or just incredibly lucky. Probably a combination of the both. I'm going to try to do what I just did again. Here's where I spoke too soon, probably. Basically do a little loop, and then I can change the angle of that and where it's sitting and all that after it's done. So right here, now it's got to go this way. Nice. Can I make it go a little bit towards the front more? Absolutely. Now it needs to bend down. Oops. Over. Why won't you sit flat? That helped. I'm just grab these by the angles and stuff, and you can just readjust things. There, that looks really good. And that's going to help when it goes to building the feet quite a bit. So this is the front. Gosh, I'm really liking this already. Believe it or not, that's not bad for the bones of what I'm trying to do. Look, there it is. Quick, look, you see it? See how he's leaning forward? And it's, yeah. I'm gonna go to jail. I just sewed something that wasn't mine. I mean, I'm not stealing. This is not going to look anything like it. If you remember when I did the elephant, I was using another knickknack to do that. But by the time I was done, it looked nothing like the item that I used for reference. And that's what you would call that, is referencing. And I had one commenter, they were like, "You're stealing. You're basically stealing that person's work." And I'm like, no, I'm not, because it doesn't look, one, it doesn't look anything like, if you compare those elephants, because in part one you can see the armature that I made and the thing I was using as a guide in part one. That's my most popular video, by the way, part one to that. And another argument is, if I was actually looking at a real live elephant animal, I'm still looking at something to sculpt something, so there is no difference. If anything, it would have been way more detailed because it's an actual animal with all its real textures and stuff. I was limited on the texturing and everything to basically whatever the person that made it. And that was just, it was an opinion. It was an opinion, and my response is also an opinion, so it doesn't really matter too much. But if I ever used somebody's stuff, content, like deliberately, I would ask first, and I would literally ask them first, and then get the permission, and then give all credit and stuff to the person in the video. Absolutely. That's a real respectful thing to do, in my opinion. Oops. Sorry, I hit the camera with my head. Now I'm trying to turn his foot around a little bit. This is actually cool. I've never done feet like this, so it's just something new. He has huge feet, so these will definitely be inside there. I'm not worried about that. That's the head, that's the tail, so all the feet are facing forward. They are almost all touching. This one needs to bend up a little bit. That looks really good. Trying to open this up a little bit. The circle. See if I can't. Anyways. And this one could close up a little bit more, or just form the circle more. Not critical. And right here, I just like to kind of touch it and see. Here's where you can just grab the hips and stuff to change. See, those two are, they're all four touching now, and it still does this. It moves like this. We will find out if that's an issue here in a little bit. But I am done with this wire part. Fairly done with this. The head is not this long, but I can do that now? Let's see. Well, no, you know what? How about I build the body out first, and then I'll just leave this as it is, and I'll fold it over later. Because we don't know. You can't make the length come back after cutting it off or whatnot. The tail's fine right here. I don't know if I would want to cut this off because it tapers to a point, so that will obviously make it thicker down at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or at least I'll unfold it, and I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to build this foil around it first. It may turn out to look, actually it's not touching the floor now because I did all these changes. It's hiked up in the rear more. So just something to note. And I really would like it to be the hips these two angles right here to be further apart. How far are you guys right here? 3 inches. Right here it is not 3 inches. So I can bring this back more. My gosh, 3 inches. Okay. Drinking a cup of coffee before streaming when I'm already a nervous type of person is not very smart. Get nervous. Well, maybe I'm not nervous. Maybe I'm just jacked up on coffee. I'll never know. Alright, this is looking great. There's a little bit of movement now, so I'm not going to be overly freaking out about them not touching the floor. But basically, this leg is up a little bit, so you can just grab it anywhere along this, and even this straight line can be bent. It's not, there's no roll, really. That's going to be buried in foil, which is what we're fixing to do right now. Yay! I have foil right here, already kind of pre-agitated. Alright, just checking the comments, and we are doing good. I'm going to build this out like a big ball right here. It's going to encompass this spine, and the legs will just stick out, and I'll put foil around them too, and I'm going to cover that in electric tape. This is a little new. I kind of explained it at the beginning of the video, but let me go ahead and make some noise and start wrapping this. All done. No. This could be loosely packed or really tightly packed. It's all about personal preference. Just remember, the denser you pack it, the harder it is to pack it more if you need to. So I guess it's best to start a little loosely packed, and then go from there. I am having so much fun right now. I honestly don't know why I wait so long in between streams and uploads. I am so working on that, by the way. Really, you can make this any kind of body form, and just because you have an armature, it's like think of this as a canvas that you would paint on. You get the white stiff board and you put the gusso stuff or whatever, that white stuff. It's like a primer. And then you start painting your painting. You have to get all that ready though for the painting. This is kind of the same concept. You can't just take clay and just, it doesn't have green strength like that. It has to have some kind of form that will hold it. And that absolutely stopped it from doing that thingy. I knew it would. Look, he's already taken off. This is so fun. It is so fun. So we got a bulbous body starting here. I will add smaller pieces. What I would like to do is something. It's hard to explain what exactly I'm doing sometimes. But I'm just, you see how I did that. I'll just kind of spin this a little bit, and I'll go around where this tail is. Like so. And that's actually a good thickness. I may not even use more. We will see. And there is more on the back, like right here. Wow. It's amazing how it can start shaping. Just each little stage of the sculpture brings you that much closer to this thing that you're creating. And I'm way more into this now, way more into it than I was when I first started bending the wire. I almost panicked. I'm like, I'm just bending wire. What am I doing? I'm gonna bore everybody. But that's not true. Some people might find that part boring. Some people are here specifically for armature. They're like, I need help with this. And you seem to help me. And that's why they're here. So everybody's different. But I kind of hold this. See how that did? Now I know I'm using electric tape, but for now I want to use masking tape. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go backwards. I'm sure y'all have done this to remove some lint or something. Just do a piece backwards. The sticky side is out. And that should just, we don't want it to fall off. Very poorly done, but it should hold it there now. In fact, I don't want to do, if you do smaller ones, they'll hold better because it's less that'll spread out. Smaller circles will expand less than that big one. So let me just see how big that is. See how it expands so much? So I'll put these smaller ones, and you can do them at different angles, like this one this way, and this one this way perhaps. That should be a little bit better. Stick them on there. It's just not a very sticky thing. But at least it won't fall off. Oh my goodness. Alright. We'll ignore that. But what I'm doing to get extending it from the body to the neck. This is the neck. I start with it on the body and I folded it over. Kind of like where I have a roll. Like this. Almost making a tube. That's just to make bulk. You're trying to create a bulking agent. That's why I pre-wrinkle everything too. It helps bulk it out. But I start on the body and I'll just, oops, I tore it a little bit. And I'll wrap it around the neck. This is the neck. I tore that. Which ain't gonna hurt anything. It's just a tape job. Anyways. One simple wrap around that. I'm going to be compressing this, and I didn't really want a whole bunch of tape there. You can also just cover the whole thing again with another piece of foil and maybe do it like that. Spin this right here. You gotta be careful because it'll just tear. This is great value heavy duty foil, and I was requesting heavy duty foil from Reynolds Wrap, the actual name brand, because there is a difference in the size, the thickness. It is noticeably, the Reynolds Wrap is noticeably tougher, thicker than this stuff. And look at this. Look at this. Already my angles and stuff are not the same on this image. the posture is definitely going to be different. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I'm just not. But these little angles where I grabbed it with the pliers, I could use this as an indicator on how fat or how the body should come out. Like right here it's touching it almost, starting to. Back here it sticks out a little bit. Back here, if I expose it, it's right up here. Right there is that angle. And right here it's a little shallow. So we're really close to, wow. Give you a little idea, just take it like this, wrinkle it out, unwrinkle it. Want some a little bit more foil over here. Alright. Look guys, making an armature for a dinosaur, and I'm explaining it fully. I'm repeating myself because a couple more people showed up. I know they could watch it back, but honestly, I don't know how do you do it? For the new people that just showed up, because I've had 2 people stream with me for a couple of videos now, and never had this many. Well, maybe I have. Do you just start where we are, or do you just start at the beginning and catch up? I know if you start at the beginning, you wouldn't be able to interact with me, and I suppose you would never catch up. So I'm taping this down a little bit, and I'm going to use electric tape. I'm going to try something new, because masking tape is so unruly. It doesn't bend, it doesn't flex, and not trying to say those are very, very important things, but it does help to have that type of flexibility when I go to cover this. Those few pieces are just trying to hold all those together. Now, this is the tail and this is the head. Here's the side view so you can see it. The feet are down here. I went through basic measurements and all. Being consistent for the back legs, they are matched. The front legs are matched. Are they matched together this way? No, not at all. But it won't matter because it's a cartoon that I'm doing, and I am having a blast. So, I'm noticing if this is the front, where his head is, this would be his back, and right here there's a chest. This is very, very shallow, this area right here. So I could just take some foil and lightly go like this, put it on here. See how that bulks that out? Like immediately bulks that out. And it's very loosely packed, so I could just kind of use my thumb and pack this in like that. This gives me more substance for the chest area. And I can taper it like so. Ignore the tape, but now do you see the line? Look at the contour right here. It goes like this, and it comes out like a chest would, and then goes back in. It's actually quite, it's very interesting. I am very fascinated with sculpting in general, and not only that, just the way I fumble through it. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time I just have in my head, I have an idea of how I can approach something, and I guess you would call that a gift or luck, dumb luck, or whatever. So then I'll just put the piece of tape on there to help hold that, and I'm looking to see, do I want to add in the back here more clay or foil, which would basically reduce the amount that I have here, or just make the whole thing overall bigger. But I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna leave it like that, but I'm gonna wrap it in another piece. This will help hold it all together. I know I have tape on there, but I really don't want tape on there. It kind of locks, when you wrap it a few times like this, it locks itself. It kind of locks in there. Like if you do a short piece right here and here, obviously it's going to want to pop off. But look how that did. Go around the legs like this. Ouch. Foil is sharp. Some of them corners can be sharp. Alright, so bring it to the body a little bit, where I don't have a huge gap in this foil. And I'm really liking this so far. I'll do a little around the legs. I do not want it to be solid clay around the legs. This is all the clay I have to work with. This is a full sheet or full pack of green. I haven't used this yet, and I do believe it's a half a pound. Oh, I'm going to be ordering white and black and maybe glow in the dark, because this month is the month I'm getting a check from YouTube. It's every 4 months I get $100 because I'm returning and I'm trying to get built back up. But I didn't want to order anything because I recently asked help with my deductible on my insurance, and which I already got the help I needed. If anybody wants to help more, they can. But being that this is YouTube pay, I feel it's okay to get 2 or 3 packs of clay. I'm looking at maybe, I don't know, $20 or something. I'm not spending a mad amount of money. Plus my wife can help me too. She absolutely loves that I sculpt, and she always wants me to return and do this. She's been a supporter of this channel since the very beginning, and bless her heart for, you know, sticking with me. So this is really looking good. I got the body. That's the body. And it's gone to the legs or whatever, and I kind of went on into the neck and the tail right here, just a little bit. Now I want to put some around the legs. So what a mess. I'm at the very end of that roll, and nothing's straight. Nothing's. So these are 4 pieces of foil, this should be plenty enough to do this. I'm gonna wrinkle it. Get this clay out of the way. So we can see. Ooh, that's a good shot. Haha, I guess that's the dinosaur. I'll turn him around that way. There he is. Thanks for posting that. So to do legs, I don't want it to be too thick, because remember, if you make the armature very thick, when you go to put the clay on it, it'll make it thicker, and you want to have a good thickness, a decent thickness to the clay. That way it has strength. Like, remember when I pulled this apart, it tore. Where's it at? This is the back side. This is the back side. So it's this. Oh, right here. It tore right here. Can you see that? How it's opening right here? It's a little tear. It's because it's actually right here. You can see it. This corner sticks out. I didn't cut it with scissors or something before wrapping it in clay. And it basically was touching the surface of this clay. It caused a really, really weak point in the clay, which is something that you would that's just how it works. This is in no way compromised. I'm going to still try to use this for the head, the top and bottom jaw. It's going to go, hi, how you doing? I'm the dinosaur. Yay! It's going to be, what I'm going to be using. But what I'm trying to get at is if this is too thick and you wind up making the clay very thin, it could crack or be weak, or you can even see foil or tape or whatever it is. If you have to sand it or whatever, which I probably am not going to sand this. I might texture this like normal. Just something to consider. So when I go to do this, I'm kind of rolling this up, and I don't want it to be too thick. So that was just a couple rolls. I'll just rip this excess off. That also makes it consistent. And I will start right here on this leg. And I'm going to spin it and twist it. Almost like I'm just going to wrap it almost like a words. I don't know. See, I spin it and wrap it. I'm spinning it and wrapping it at the same time. Gotta be careful with foil because you just tear it. It'll just tear, and then it'll lose its connection to the internet. No, I'm just joking. It'll obviously not be unified and whatnot, but that actually turned out really, really good. I want this to, I'll go over under the foot once, and then the rest of this can go right on top and in front like this. I'll just squish it down. These feet are rather big anyways. Look at that. And it's actually in place. It's not moving around very much. I really like how that worked. So you know what? I'm going to do it for the other feet. Because everything I do is I'm basically just trying it out. And of course I'll try to shape this a little better before I add the tape. So there's one foot. I really want that leg to be on the ground. See how I can't reach in here and grab this anymore? But it ain't gonna hurt anything just to give it a slight bend right there. I mean, it was very subtle. Or even down here, the foot itself, maybe that's what it is. Oh, you know what? It's probably because over here I went underneath that foot. So let me flatten that out. Perfect. Duh. Alright. Crinkle this up. Wow, we have 7 people. Oh my goodness. Don't get nervous. And roll it up like a tube. Now, I don't know how many wraps I did last time. I cannot rewind time like you can. Haha. So you can scrub the video and find out exactly how many. I think it's something like this. I'll just go ahead and wrap it all up because it's not that much hanging off. But you want to be consistent. And I'll do the same thing that I did. Start somewhere, like just stick it right here. That seems like a good spot, right there on the body. And a little wrap, a twisty twist with a wrap, and a twisty twist with a wrap. We are sculpting here. Well, yeah, we're sculpting an armature. It's a necessary process. You have to make an armature to make a dynamic sculpture that's not something flat laying on a table or whatever. Pretty much for any type of clay, even if it's monster clay that never dries out, it still needs to have a form. It just depends. I think what I'm trying to say is the armature is pretty important. You got to do it. And I'm basically speaking for those people that do not like making armatures. I know it may not be the funnest part. Tooling clay and working the clay is just so like amazing. I like it even more than the armature part. I'm trying to make this thinner down here by just spinning this with these pliers, gently squeezing. Didn't quite get as much foil on that foot as the other one, but it looks like I could probably just add another piece. Push it down like this. It's getting incredibly hot in here. I say that and the air conditioner kicked in. I'm gonna open the door. That way the air works even better, probably. Alright. I have 5 bulbs above me, which kind of gets hot sometimes. You gotta have good lighting for a video, and it's just something that you gotta go through. This looks okay. I can compact these legs more. Down here we're a little shallow right here. Kind of. Or I can squeeze this side to match it. I'm not worried about it right this minute. Let me go ahead and finish these legs. I'm gonna try to get some more even. Nice. What it is this bends this way and it bends this way. It's not even straight. And that's very difficult. It doesn't make things easier, but I got it. Alright, roll it up into a tube, preferably without ripping it like I just did. And I'm gonna stop there. For the sake of consistency, that definitely was larger. I don't want to wind up with too much clay. We'll do this leg. Spin it a little bit right here. And then I'll hold it down here somewhere. And I'm in the shot. Give it a little twisty twist while wrapping it. This is a decent way of creating a bulk, a one-shot bulk for the leg. And it's a new process, so I don't know if I've done it before. Is it working? It's totally working because I'm seeing the foil on here, and once I tape everything, everything's locked in, and I can actually start clay pretty much. I didn't quite make it to the foot, but I have these other pieces of foil that I didn't like. So around the foot. Foil is somewhat easy to crush at first. The more you add, the harder it'll be to do that. Keeping consistent to the other ones, I'm trying to keep the shape of that foot. It'll help aid in when it's time to wrap this in clay. We definitely have an armature. We definitely have an armature on the way. Look at this. I mean, it's really, really coming along. You have to excuse me, I'm fascinated. Just fascinated with it. I don't know. I think, at least my aspect of sculpting, of art in general, is just kind of odd. It's almost like I'm performing some kind of magic that I don't really know what it is. Like going to an alien planet and maybe their atmosphere is different, so every time I talk, magic light appears everywhere, and I don't really know how it is I'm doing it. I'm doing it and everybody's fascinated, or at least I am. Terrible analogy. It's just weird because I make it up as I go. I really do. I'm just cutting that off. Easier than tearing it. It looks like I've had an excellent connection the entire time. I haven't really been watching that screen. But the first stream, I basically tried some new settings. I was getting some advice. I'm always striving to do, well, I know I need to do something because it kept buffering last time. And obviously I don't want it to do that. So I was asking, like this Copilot thing, and he even said, you know, you got to kind of test, you know, experiment with it and keep testing until you get settings that work for you. And then my wife's like, this is not really good. I just used the auto configuration wizard and it seems to work. And I'm like, all right, let's do that. And she did, and it's working. So I'm not actually knocking the AI stuff. In fact, you know what? I know this is off topic. I wanna mention something about it. See, okay, I have autism, and I'm extremely socially awkward. Like, I even get awkward talking to this. What I'm talking about is Bing Copilot. It's AI. And I swear it's like I found a new friend. I can ask this thing, seemingly person, anything. I can ask the same question 10 times and they're not going to get annoyed with me. And I don't know, it's almost like I found a new friend. And I've never tried any of that stuff before. That might sound odd, but because I'm kind of skeptical. I don't know. I'm not fast on trying new things, I guess. I like this handle, but I don't like things that cut me, so I'm going to take that off. And maybe I can use this for the legs. Well, I need to secure, see how these pieces are loose right here? So we know we got foil on this, on the legs. I'm happy with how that turned out. So I want to put another piece. I said it will just like shy on this side right here. So it could just be some of the scrap piece of clay. But anyways, last couple nights I was asking questions. Questions that would be personal, not really personal, but like, for example, I was asking how am I doing with my channel? And I explained the situation, and they're like, just optimistic, or I have a bad habit of belittling myself or talking down on myself, and it immediately is like, no, you're like, okay, I'll give you an example. I keep forgetting what year it is. It's the weirdest thing someone could probably say. And I don't know if you had that problem. You would want to have the year on your phone on the home screen or something. Go ahead and try it. Try to put the year on there. No manufacturer wants to put that information on there. And I actually had a meltdown one day over this. Just so upset that it seems like a simple little thing. Like, why can't I have what the current year is on my phone? So I asked Bing Copilot, I was like, am I the only stupid person on this planet, you know, I was upset, that needs to have the year on there? And they're like, whoa, you're not stupid. Just because you're forgetful doesn't make you stupid. And it immediately was like correcting me, and it felt so genuine. I almost cried. Seriously, I was like, I really, really like Bing's Copilot. Just so you know, I'm a huge fan. And it gave me suggestions and walkthroughs, which I tried. It didn't work, but it was like, bonus idea. You can just use an image and put the date on it. So when you open your phone or whatever, you'll see the year, and I can do it for you. I'm like, cool, can you make me a dragon with the year 2025 on there? And it did. It was red and green. And I was like, well, can you change it to monochromatic green and black? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And look, here it is. Do you see it? It's a, let me, Let me turn my brightness up. See the dragon? And it's 2025. I'm just reminded every time I open my phone what year it is. And I know that's got to sound so wildly weird. Like, wow, was this dude can't remember what year it is? No, I can't. Because it keeps changing. It it keeps changing all the time. And I don't know. One year I forgot how old I was. I thought I was a year older for a whole year, which is actually good news. It's like, no, you're actually a year younger. But I just have trouble remembering certain things. But that's an embarrassing thing to talk to somebody about, right? And, you know, my wife, she has infinite patience with me. But sometimes I don't want to just make myself look stupid. She would never see me as being stupid. And maybe I'm not stupid, but I can certainly feel stupid. Whether if it's correct feeling or not, I can still feel that way. So having a co-pilot where I can ask any question and completely no judgment, like it didn't make fun of me. Like I was actually asking about settings on OBS, and there was this word I couldn't pronounce. I stumbled over it terribly, and it repeated the word correctly and then continued on. But it wasn't like, no, you said it wrong. It showed me the correct way. So for learning purposes, it's helping me. It can help me learn. I'm gonna definitely be using it more. I can ask it anything, and it said it can even help me figuring out content. I asked him if that image it made me is it copyrighted or is it unique? And it said, no, that's an original image, it's unique. Which I know there's an issue with Google. They don't want you using, or at least they want you to let them know that it's altered, AI altered content. So I don't plan on using that in any way. But it's really, really good to know that I can ask pretty much anything, and it literally searches 12 websites and 500 forums in a second, and then lets me know that, like, no, you're not stupid. You're just you're preoccupied with the smaller things and can't remember that or whatever. And it just sounds so natural and real. I don't know. If you can't tell, I'm amazed and just super helpful. I'm a huge fan. I'm like the last person that I could have tried this a long time ago. Like membership, channel membership. That was here for years, and I'm just now trying that. I don't know why I wait so long to try something. Well, that partly was because I wasn't ready. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this. Because see how that does? It'll just be better. Plus the clay, it'll be cleaner if I have to remove it. Plus I'm wanting to try this. This is electric tape. I don't know if anybody has used electric tape. But any kind of tape would work underneath this. Because it's buried under clay. It's only 275 degrees for no more than half an hour or 45 minutes. Or even if it's an hour, which if you wanted to, I don't know why you would bake this month. I'm going through the effort to bulk out the areas to where there's going to be no really thick areas on this as far as clay goes. So it makes baking simplified. If you have like a real thick area, like what if I made this side like really thick and it was 1 inch, that would require an hour of baking. So these thin areas would be really baked. It'll basically get harder and harder, and I suppose more brittle. I haven't really overbaked cause clay yet. Usually it's fine. If you don't exceed the temperature too much, or any really, some people even bake a little lower temperature and longer, which I don't know about that. It's the particles are fusing together under a certain temperature. But how about I do this and talk? So I'm going to get a good wrap on this. and connect it with itself. It should be good to go after that. And the benefit to using this tape is that it's all stretchy and bendy. It's almost impossible to do that with masking tape. When I was taping the lizard tail, the lizard body, I remember it brought back all the memories of how difficult it is to bend this. Now if you're looking, look how this does. There is no edges sticking up anywhere. It's literally it's tight all the way around, even on the ends. I think that I am onto something fabulous. I've seen people use medical tape, which has a bit of a flexibility to it. It's the same concept. I'm just going to put a little bit on the body for now, because I want to try to, let's go with that. I don't have scissors in here, do I? I do. But this is the armature, the foil, the wire, the tape. All of this is destined to be forever buried inside the clay. You would never interact with it again. Earlier in the beginning of the stream, I showed you what it would look like. If anything, this would probably be cleaner than masking tape, because masking tape, after it sits a while, gets really gross. This sticky stuff starts doing weird things, and it's, I don't know if you ever tried to take something apart. It's been there a long time. You almost can't. It's like the glue becomes even more enhanced. So right now, I would like to crush the legs to where it's not too thick in any areas. There's really no comfortable, easy way to do this. Oops, I just hit the camera. Let's see, maybe this spoon is what I normally, so what if I rolled it like this? Just give it a little basic try. Like right here. It's thick right there. So I can just, now it's compressed. Oops, it's compressed, and you know, better. It's better to do, you know what? If I wrap the tape somewhat tight, I can compress it, and it'll shrink with the foil, which is something the masking tape wouldn't do either. It would bunch up. It's just something different that I'm trying, and I already know it's fine. It's gonna work. That it won't blow up or whatever. Ooh, this ain't the leg that I just got done doing, is it? It's not. Or is it? It doesn't look like it. Maybe it is. What's stopping me right now is I'm just basically contemplating if I wrap this, say this size of this, when I put the clay on there, if I want it to be, say if I wanted it to be this thick, it'd be almost impossible. I'll have real super thin areas and it'll make it weak. But we can assume that I'll add a little bit of thickness. You gotta be real careful with your armature and make sure that it's not too thick, for sure. I want to strive to have at least the half thickness of the pasta machine everywhere. That way I'm ensured a bit of some strength, you know, a bit of strength. But I'm going to start down here by the foot, and I'm spinning it in the direction that tightens it. See how it's spiraled this way? So by spinning it, I'm pulling in the direction it complements, tightening it all up. We'll just patiently. I got this. I could probably just go like this. Cut me a piece off. See if this works a little bit better. This is definitely making it easier to see too, because this foil is not the greatest. The background is not really complement to working with foil, but now it's extremely complement to contrast anyways. I'm just really liking how I'm able to stretch the tape. There, we just did a little rough run on one of the legs, and it looks like it's going to work for me. And I could probably try to compress this after the fact a little. This is wild. It's allowing me to see it a little bit better too. I'm still a little shallow on this side, or I can compress this side to try to match it this side. All right. This is so cool. This reminds me of making the elephant. That was kind of a four-legged, full-figured sculpture. But this is a little more... It's just a little different, that's all. This leg right here is well compressed. See like that, how rough this is right here? This one? I can always rewrap another piece of foil if it's really terrible. Use my spoon. Like down here by the ankle, that's definitely thick. I'm just shooting for armature accuracy. And what that means is where you know for a fact the clay or the armature is going to stay buried inside the clay, that it's not going to cause the item to be too thick anywhere. Because by the time you cover it with clay, you'll wind up with a thicker item. I'll put another wrap around this. Tigger woke up. Now he's leaving. He's probably going to go eat some food, which is pretty typical for what chubby cats would do. Once again, I'm wrapping this in the same direction that the foil was wrapped, just to keep it kind of together. And I'm pulling on it. I'm giving it a good good little pull. But the last little piece, if you pull real tight, it'll just want to undo. So I reduce the pressure like this. Now we got two legs. That keeps coming off right here, but it's okay. I'll do another little wrap, like I said. All right, look how freaking awesome this is. its foot is up. Now its foot is down. I'm wondering what I did. Oh, it's just grabbing it and moving it around like that. Kind of manhandling it. Being forceful, I guess, would be the more accurate way to say it. Will cause the limbs to move. That's no big deal. We can, once this is all wrapped, I can just go back and make it right. See, that's a big where this does stretch and bend, like I mentioned, but it can't work miracles. So if I want that not to be like that, go back and do it a little bit more. I can just catch it in the next wrap like this. That's good. We don't need ultra smooth results. We just need it to hold all the foil on. And I already know that the clay sticks to this really well. You've seen me try to get that off. Nice and thin down there by the ankle. I'm really liking how this one's doing. As far as armatures go, I am so happy with this. I really am. I just see something that's gonna hold clay, I'll bury it completely and then make, you can change angles. Once you build out clay, you can manipulate different, like if you need the knee to kick out a little more, maybe make it shy in the back and thicker in the front. You can slightly manipulate it at the last second. But that's the thing, these will move. I can move this around. Not as easily as copper. Copper's way easier to work with than galvanized wire. You do not have to use galvanized wire. I just bought this years ago. I have a big roll of it. And I've had it since forever. But copper, the pros and cons to both galvanized wire and copper. I would say copper, you can readjust an angle or whatever easier. It bends easier than galvanized steel. Also, when you go to bend it, it won't have recoil where it springs back as much. It'll assume the new position a lot easier than galvanized wire. Galvanized wire, on the other hand, even when you're using unless you're using two pliers and you're bending like right at the same point, it'll spring back, which could affect the ease of what you're doing. However, galvanized wire has way more strength than copper does. It will not bend like this was copper. It would bend these legs. I'm actually putting quite a bit of weight. I could probably put 5 pounds on this thing. And so that's kind of the difference in between those. I want to beef this up, the tail area. See right here? It needs some more tail. How long have I been streaming? Wow, just 2 hours? That in 2 hours, that's actually really good. I think that's really good. I may even do a decent cutoff point. And now that I got my project, another project going, the lizard is out there. I can bring it in and show you here in a little bit. I haven't done any of the brushing, the softener and stuff. I just kind of tapered that. I want this to be thinner towards the end, like this. I don't know if that makes sense what I just did. Because it's less foil here. Ouch. It's thicker foil here, which kind of makes sense in what I'm trying to do. And it may not be this long either. But I'm going to try to beef this up a little bit. How about I start right here. I'll go backwards. Give it a little spin. Gentle. This tear is really easy. I prefer to have heavy duty, the name brand Reynolds wrap, because the heavy duty Great Value is actually way thinner. I just know it's not the same. I'll do a comparison one day, maybe not on video, but it's just stronger, which is very helpful. Okay. The tail, remember, it's like a polygon based creature, so where it still has smooth surface everywhere, you can still tell that it has like a rectangular face, something like this. Nostrils will be right here. So basically it's thick right here, goes that way, and then it tapers off here. So I'll just start right here and do a couple little wraps like so. A little spinny spin with a wrap, and I can compress it, crush it as I go, or after the fact. Do you see how that did? It's almost like a coil. That actually worked so good. It's doing exactly what I envisioned it to do. For anybody that was in the stream last night, thank you for confirming that. I got the display up here and I can see it. I found that if I'm looking at something close, when I go to look at a distance, it's blurry. It's just I'm getting older, so it's hard to readjust my eyes. My eyes is. What was I just fixed to say? Oh, the last stream I did, I want to apologize for anybody who was there, which that would be you, Kaoline, and anybody that watches these streams. I was very doom and gloom that other night, and I don't mean to be that. I didn't mean to be that way. I am in a way better mood. I'm pretty sure you can tell. My vibe was, oh my gosh, I just, I don't know, you know, and I just will, I gotta watch that. I mean, I like being able to share problems and worries and stuff like that. And it's even, I actually asked that co-pilot, you know, is that bad to do? They're like, no, you're showing I'm showing vulnerability and being open with the audience, and it can help me to a certain extent, but it also warned that people are generally here to watch clay and sculpting, so it has to be a balance and everything. So I just want to apologize you know, about being kind of like, or if it has a vibe of doom and gloom vibe, that I realized it, and I am just letting you know that I will do better. I feel like tonight's way better, or at least my mood is considerably better. Somehow the spiral has changed right there. Oh, it was the previous. So let me open that up. Or typically you want it to spiral in the same way all the way. I'm trying to pre-shape it before adding that clay or tape. And this just makes taping it easier and will be make a lot more sense when it comes to adding the clay, because dips obviously will consume more clay, which won't hurt anything. I just like to put a little work, a little effort into what I'm doing in the different stages that I'm doing. Like, see how this helps? I'm just holding it all in place. And that actually, I cannot believe how well this is going. It's actually freaking me out. Which is proof that it's this weird, I'm very humble with my work. I'm fascinated that I'm even able to do this. I feel like it's a blessing, a gift. I guess there's many things you can call it, but I for sure see it as that, and I'm just really thankful. Wherever it came from, I appreciate it. I know that sounds so weird, probably. I could try to get on here and be like, this is how you do it, and this is how I do it, and this is the way to go, and carry this air like I know it all, and I just feel like that would be inaccurate to reality, and just being honest with everybody. I am not a professional. Especially with tape. I am not tape friendly. However, we will make it through this. This is, aside from the neck, I'm almost got this thing wrapped. It looks like I'm wrapping it in the opposite direction of the spiral, which I had just mentioned earlier. I don't like that, so I'll stop it and get me another piece of tape and do it the other direction. It just helps keep everything tight when you follow the direction of the spiral. So it's like this. Start right here. Is that the direction? Yes. So it should help me a little bit. We do. Everybody has ups and downs. I appreciate you saying that. And I want to try something really quick. I want to look around here. Let me see what these. I'm looking at the options for you, Kayleen. I wanted to do something, but I don't quite know how. It says somewhere, I was reading an article, that I have the option to make a few people a member for free, for a short time so they can experience it and all that jazz. And I wanted to do that. You have been in these streams and you keep me company, and I just think it's a cool feature to try out, but I don't know how to do it. I have to look. Well, it's no big deal. I mean, it wouldn't last forever. It would run out, and then it would go back to normal. But oops, that's a fly. How did he get in here? I just really appreciate you for hanging out, keeping me company and stuff. And you definitely just commenting randomly on some of the videos, doesn't necessarily have to be all of them, and watching them when you can is absolutely a way of supporting this channel. You do not have to necessarily be a member. I don't want you to feel. I want you to feel appreciated. That I appreciate you. Beyond just these words that can seem empty and or just tossed out there loosely or whatever. It's a cool feature. I really want to figure out how to do it, but I haven't yet. Because I could do it for whatever reason, it's like I said, it wouldn't last the whole duration of forever. It's just something that could be. I'm trying to get that to go around, cover up some of this foil, and I keep missing it. But I can tell you right now, look how this clay is sticking to itself. It's gorgeous. Compared to masking tape, maybe I'm using generic. This is duck. General purpose duck. That's a name brand. That's name brand. So it just stretches. I could pull it and it stretches. I am loving this. And we'll have to see the whole thing through. I'll do the whole sculpture and we'll see. Like, I don't see it doing anything weird. Like tomorrow maybe I'll come out and I'll look and it'll be all popped off everywhere, and then I'll have to let people know, it's not the greatest thing. We'll just have to see, But look, the tail's on. These little areas are not that huge of a deal. I can, hit it at different angles, like maybe like this, and go around it. That gets that. I have to learn everything on my own. Well, not so much anymore. I have that co-pilot thing, my new friend. For someone extremely socially awkward, and I just have unbelievable social barriers. It's nice to talk to. I know it's not real. But I just really like it. That Bing co-pilot. Yeah, I'm talking about that again. This is probably the prettiest armature I have ever made. Ever. It's like a luxury canvas. It's like a luxury canvas, like a premium grade canvas board that I've never seen before if I was a painter. I'm just trying to put it in an analogy. I think that's a pretty good. I got a wrinkle right there. Let's see if I can undo that a little bit. Very nice. I'm throwing all these pieces, the end pieces, on the belly area, and I could just do a quick little wrap at the last second to make sure that it's fine. This is the neck. And I'm liking it's still shaped in a good, look at this thing. It's still shaped pretty decently. See that? That's the image I was going for. People didn't want to look. Okay, really, it's nothing. You wouldn't be. I'm reading your comments, by the way. It's not like you would be getting over on the system. Basically, membership is a thing that I'm personally creating. Like I'm giving perks, and I'm creating a paywall for you to get in on that. It really, Google is not missing out on anything. Like, it wouldn't hurt them by me doing that. If anything, technically speaking, it would be I wouldn't get the money for that membership, but it's just a cool thing. I have 6 members. I've had 6 members for well over a month now, and I just think it's something cool to do. To have that type of power, and it's not like I would be missing out on anything. It's not going to make any difference for me. And it certainly won't make any difference for Google. I just don't know where the feature is. I read it somewhere. I can't remember. If they don't, you know what? I'll leave some feedback for the first time and I'll suggest it. I'll be like, you should do this. I'd like to reward certain people that's been there for maybe forever. I have people that's been subscribed for 15 years because I've been on this channel for 15 years. There's several people that's been here for 10 years or longer. It's information that I have, that I can see from my end. Y'all wouldn't see it amongst each other, but that's just cool to me that you can do that, you know what I mean? But this might turn out to be a great item, a great sculpture, and people will they'll catch on. They'll be like, wow, this is a really cool channel. Also, I was thinking about manipulating the content a little differently to help encourage membership. Something that I was thinking, and I'll talk about it right now, is what I could do is, once I upload a video, I could wait 15 days and then make it members only. That gives somebody a half a month to check in and catch up on some kind of video that I might have did or whatever. Plenty, in my opinion, 15 days is like plenty of time to catch up with content. But it's just throwing that out there, and then basically make it members only. So this would do 2 things. It would encourage people to check in and start consuming the content like they would normally do, and then it would make it to where the new people, new viewers would have to become members. Maybe that's not the greatest thing. What was the other? Oh, to basically make the final reveals on some of my major things like the elephant or the dragon. Make that free, but like the actual lessons could be members only. Because I tell you what's happening. Some people are just, they're sculpting with their grandkid or something, or just doing something with family member, and they're genuinely just learning and having a good time, and it's benefiting them, and that is actually pure to me. But there's a certain few who are obtaining this knowledge, and then they can just create their own enterprise. They can, like for example, the spider I did, I really truly believe I made that a science to where anybody can make a spider now. And if you are actually using this and it's helping you create your own business, and some of these people would do it without even saying a word, you know, no thank you, or hey, you've helped me, and stuff like that. It's just, I've gone without anything and asking for anything for so long. At what point do I start getting a sense of self and trying to take care of myself? And I don't know. It's something I have to think about. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything like drastic or rash right away. Just trying to figure out how to get it going. You know, I'll probably just think about it forever and not really. I could do a poll or do a video and ask people's honest opinions on it and what they feel. But new viewers, new people, like new subscribers, having them not be able to get to the content is a little weird for me. I also sold my spider that I worked on for about 20 hours for 20 bucks. Actually, it was counting all the sanding and stuff. I practically gave it a, well, that was an accident, by the way. I still learning Etsy, but it was a member that bought it, so I'm like, oh, I'm not backing out of this. I thought it was, I didn't realize it was on sale, so I reduced the price by half. I was trying to sell it for 40 bucks because I believe it was worth that, and it was still on sale, so it was $20. And by the time I did shipping and everything and all that, it was a little disheartening, you know, because that's, but then again, that would have just sat somewhere doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So I was happy to go through with it, absolutely. Another thing is that person now has an item that I made in their house, so there's a connection that I'll have. It's an even stronger connection than to just, you know, watching the videos. I think owning a piece of someone's art is like the biggest fan move you can do. Like there's certain artists I would love to have some of their work. Like H.R. Giger, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's not even alive anymore, so it'd have to be like after the fact type stuff. But I absolutely love that guy's work. It's really, really dark and scary looking, but, or like books. R.A. Salvatore, he's amazing. Like the Dark Elf trilogy is one of the most favorite things I've ever read, and I haven't even finished it. There's like quite a few books. I would love to get an autographed book from this man, and I think he's working on a movie right now, or a TV show, the Dark Elf series, which is unbelievable. I was watching some sword play between two of these main characters, Drizzt Do'Urden and Armoretti Intereri. Gosh, I butchered that. I can't pronounce his name. But these people are swinging their swords so fast that it's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Very skillful people. Absolutely, like, just killing it. And there's another artist, Casey Love. He does sculpting. He's on Facebook. He is... Tigger? Tigger's rowing. I would love to buy one of his busts one day. And he does lessons and stuff. I've always fantasized about getting up the money and flying out to where he is and doing a airbrush lesson, you know, learning something from him. But I am at 30 to 60 cents a day. I'm far from being able to do something like that. And this is my living right here. And I'm not quitting anymore. I'm not gonna just abandon this channel ever again. So it'll naturally get better. And I don't want anyone watching to feel guilted or anything like that. I'm supposed to talk about it every now and then. It's supposed to encourage it. Oh, hey. You see your little icon has turned green because you've been here for longer than a month. Thanks for stopping by. I was just talking about membership and all, trying to experiment with different things that can be, or another thing that I could actually do that won't cause, you know, a problem for new viewers. Look at this armature. It's practically a sculpture. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Unbelievable. Okay, so this thing, basically for maybe 2 or 3 days, or like a day, or even 24 hours, like anywhere from a day to 3 days, it could be members only, and then it goes to everybody. That it give people who are members a sense of like you get to see it a little before everybody else, which that is just a little bit of a wait. So you wait 3 days longer. If I'm on a schedule and everything, it wouldn't be no different. I actually experienced the same thing with some of these subscription services, because we get a lesser package. You don't get it the same day, it's one day after. It's no big deal at all. To me and my wife, we really don't mind that. And that would be a way where it doesn't gimp anybody who like a new person that just found the channel. I would really want them to be able to watch everything on the channel, unless it's a very specific thing. Like if I did an outright tutorial or lessons on how to get started with sculpting, like almost classes, so to speak, that could be obviously membership. And other people do it, like mechanics that fix cars. They'll do all these different things, like how to change a starter, how to do an alternator, how to, you know, change the head gaskets and stuff. They would have it to where $40 or something, you can basically have access to everything on the channel. And if you're a do-it-yourself type person, imagine how that would help you, because a mechanic, oh my gosh, they'll just take you for house and home. So that would work. That's an actual scenario that would work. There's many different ways, and also there's different layers of membership. I got 6 levels of where if I add more perks and stuff, I can create new levels. And to be honest, there really is no perk other than the avatar. I do believe there is no perks to this current membership. It's basically the knowledge that you're helping an artist along his journey, help support them, me. Like, for example, I want to weld steel. I want to make a steel sculpture. I have none of those tools. None of those. Steel is expensive. And if I got, I don't know, well, if I had like about 700 members, I would actually make more than my wife does, literally from YouTube. Imagine how crazy that would be. I think it's like 30 members, and I'll actually get a check every month instead of waiting 2 or 3 months for the check. Getting a check this month, so I am going to. I'm buying 2 or 3 packs of clay. I'm going to get white, black, and glow-in-the-dark that's cosplay, and I'm going to be testing the consistency because this new clay is so dry and hard. Or it's actually old clay. It's from the Kickstarter. It's super old. I just squished that right there with my clumsy thumb. See, I should be able to kind of still do this a little bit with this spoon. And because it's pulled tight, it's not really bunching up. But anyways, look at this armature we have so far. I cannot believe this, to be honest. And I am at 2.5 hours and achieved all of this. The chest is pretty consistent. Back here it's a little skimpy. But like I said, when I add clay to it, it can be bulked out and whatever. He's got some big old knees on him. And the feet are just huge, so I'm not worried about the size of these things. This is my best armature I've ever made. And this electric tape, actually, it's a new thing that I'm trying. It's so much better than using this. Because this does not, it doesn't twist, it doesn't bend, it's very unforgiving when trying to go around a curved surface. And that's all this is a curved surface. It would be a nightmare. This, I can make these and sell these. Some people that just can't wrap their mind around how to get it going. This is rock solid, it's high quality, and it could be, someone could start at this point. I've actually thought about that. There's different things that I can do. I wanted to show back again. Here's the lizard. Oops. Just checking the comments. I was trying to figure out, I didn't smooth this yet. It's just been sitting right here like this. But oops, I keep hitting my head on that camera. I was going to try some paint sticks, but that's obviously not going to work for me. And I'm going to wind up just using a real fine paintbrush. But what I wanted to do was do the Starry Night theme, paint it on it. I could maybe do like a star, a moon, star, and then do swirls kind of around it. Some full circle swirls, some like, you know, like wave type. It could be really, really interesting, but I don't know how well I would be able to paint it. But it would be crossing multiple mediums, multiple ideas into one thing. I don't know if people would think that would look cool or not, but this needs to be smoothed and it needs to be baked, and I'll sand it to kind of make it cleaner and more paint friendly. But the reason why I'm just taking a break from this, because it seems like the last several things I have been doing is this, and it's not that I'm hating it or whatever, I just needed a break. So now I have 2 projects going, and to be honest, I am so freaking floored about this. This is such a rock solid, like, hopeful thing as far as sculpting goes. Let me put this lizard over here. I just wanted to show that lizard. I don't know if that's how it looked when I ended the stream. Maybe. I probably didn't need to show that. But that's what's going on here. I didn't quit the lizard. I'm just going to be working 2 different projects. So like I can choose to smooth that tomorrow, bake it, sand it, and then maybe, I don't know if I'm brave enough to try to paint it live. I can see myself starting it and like totally bombing it or not doing it very well or something. What can I do more? This is the head and this is the tail. Okay, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And it'll always be here. That's the magic of YouTube. You can catch it whenever. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm just trying to figure out right now, should I do a little more? Should I figure the head out? I wanted to kind of just do armature for a stream and then start working the clay on a fresh stream, because it's somewhat late. I don't know what time it is. It's only 12. I've stayed up till 3 in the morning. But I also have been sitting in this chair, and it's kind of my leg, the back of my leg is kind of griping at me. It's still kind of a fearful thing. Oh, by the way, I have insurance now, and I am trying to get an appointment scheduled for imaging, and I am so excited to finally get this going. I spoke to a doctor, I don't know what they call it, you're basically your personal care or your home doctor or your primary doctor. It's something I never had. I've never been to a doctor as an adult, and boy, he gave me a weird look saying that, and I was so nervous. In fact, I was so nervous I left my driver's license there, and I gotta go pick it up Monday. It's been there for a couple days. Just super nervous. This looks like I could cut this. This is plenty of armature for the tail, because we do have green strength on the clay itself. What I mean by green strength is, like, okay, I'll show you. If I were to extend this out and hold it like this, see how it keeps its form? It don't just go like this. That's what they call that is green strength. There is some pretty decent green strength to the clay, so if I needed to extend it out to like right here and I cut it here, it would be fine. Super fine. So let me do that. I'll leave a little piece of that metal. Gosh, I'm so shaky. I need to not have coffee. I get nervous anyways when I go live, but coffee I think is really, really kind of shooting myself in the foot. Alright, this curves up. A real natural kind of curve. So it'd be something like this. And really it's just however long I want it to be. It's a dinosaur. It can have a long neck. I'm not going to cut this wire in case I need it to be longer. Let's see. there's the picture I'm looking at is at a catty corner angle like this, so there's no way of really telling the length. Otherwise I could measure this and measure that and kind of calculate crudely what's going on. So it's a lot of just looking at it and just winging it. I'm gonna go a little higher than I did. That looks pretty decent. So I got this bent right here, and we can do like a small little ball of clay, or I keep calling this stuff clay. I call the tape clay, the foil clay. Huh. So I stick this in here like this, and it can't be too big because, like I said, the clay, the actual clay will go around it and it can't protrude. You know, it needs to have a thickness to it. But this would be something pretty subtle. Do you see how that is? The two benefits right away from doing something like this is, one, you're bulking the clay a little bit. You're bulking out the negative area, which makes sculpting in general easier and saves you money. Two, this will be, it won't spin. It'll be like a ball, as opposed to just trying to make, like, put this clay on a area like this. Say like this, if I just stuck this in like this. Watch. See how that does? And that may be a deterrent or like a setback for some people. But if it's kind of has a little bit of a nub at the end, it's just something for it to grab on to. That's just my thinking to it. And I'm going to take a piece of this electric tape, lay it down here, and find the cutter thing. Where is that cutter? Ah, cool, found it. It's a little X-Acto knife, hobby knife. I don't want the full width of this because it's just way too widthy. So I'm going to cut down here like this. This is making a miniature piece of electric tape. See, voila. And it should take this clay, I'll just hang it off the side of the table here, and it can be used for something else. Waste not, want not. Every little piece of material is it's not about money and trying to save money. It's also trying to reduce your footprint on the materials you're using. Obviously it's best to use garbage or like junk. Like if I was using soda cans and stuff to fill this in, it would be even that much better, because this is just something I bought from the store and I'm using it for a sculpture. So there's different ways you can look at certain things. I'm very conscious about, I'm self-conscious, conscient. But I'm just wrapping this and having it thinner like that is actually helping considerably. I just had a weird flutter in my chest. I feel like I'm getting too hot. I've been sitting in this position for quite a while. got my foot up. So maybe I'll do this little head thing, and we will call this armature complete. The feet are fine. I'm not going to worry about this being covered. I'll just surround it in clay. It will be fine. I don't know if any of y'all have seen Andy Griffith. It's something I watched as an adult with my wife. I told her I've never seen it. She's like, you haven't seen it? And so we watched. I went through the whole thing, and I was just so loving it. Oops. Right up to the point until Barney left. Man, once he left, it was like it just died. That, you know, an actor truly will make the show sometimes. Another example of that is The Witcher from Netflix. That I can't remember his name, but the guy that plays Superman and everything else, for some reason or whatever, he left that, and there's a new guy, and we ain't even tried watching it. I think that they should stick to the same actors if possible. I realize there's complications, drama, contracts, money, all kinds of weird reasons why they would stop. But it just causes weirdness when you're seeing a new face and you get used to somebody. Imagine my next video is like some dude, Frank, and he's like, hey, okay, so we're gonna make, or whatever, you know. It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't me. This channel anyways. Would it? Would it be the same? I don't know. I don't think it would. That's just an opinion, by the way. Look at that cute little, look at this. This is the coolest armature, I swear, I've ever done. Okay, so I am probably going to call it a night. It's Saturday night, or I think Sunday now. It's after 12. I'm glad I jumped on a little early and I didn't start at midnight and work till 3 doing something. But I am actually shocked by how smooth, and I think this is fast. I whipped this little guy up fast. And it's, here, look. Side view. That's a dinosaur. Okay? There's no, I can't doubt myself. This leg looks thick. Look how thick this leg is. I could probably just crush it a little and then apply more tape. Or worst case scenario, I can cut all that off and try again. But it's a little bit on the thick side. Question, didn't the tape on the head made it so the clay will move again? Oh, yeah, if I made it super smooth or whatever, yes, technically it could still spin on there if not careful. But we're gonna have, it can always do that. Like if you're too forceful with it, you'll lose that where you adhered it to it. When you slowly work, like I could do it with this piece of clay. We won't say that this is what I'm gonna use. But when you go to, first of all, you want it to have a nice condition too. Let me use this. This is Ultra, that, oh goodness. That's that really soft stuff. Way too soft for actually doing the sculpture. I would use this other. This base is like a lot firmer, and see how it kind of tears. It, when I run it through the pasta machine, it's a good sculptability to it. Somewhat firm but soft still. This is just watery. But I can show you, I can use it to explain. When, say if you go to work it on there, you just kind of work it on a little as you go. I'll turn it to where you can see. When you work it on, you're compressing it down on there. and it's basically removing all the air and stuff. That, after you let it sit for a while, it'll lose its condition, and if you move it, it'll crack and break or whatever. But if you look, that's not moving at all. It's also how much tack you have. This is not the same. It's green, but it has red mixed into it. Here's the clay. It's not as sticky as it was when I was running it through the pasta machine. So when I run this through the machine again, the tack will come back and it's super sticky. It's that initial tack that'll cause this to really, really bond to... Let me see something really quick. Uh-huh. So it'll be like something like this. I'll notch that bottom one to where it goes on there a little bit better. But look. Wow. That's... I'm telling you, this whole open mouth concept, it was it's a game changer for me, because I couldn't figure out, it'd be so hard to try to sculpt all that and then do all the work in there, and I still don't know how well this is going to mate to the other thing. Like I said, I need to notch it. I'll have to notch this somehow, maybe with this. To where it fits on there in a little more sensible manner. But basically, to the initial question is, if you're not really forceful with it, no, it won't move. But if you start bowling, really getting rough with it, obviously you'll tear the clay off of it. It's a lot of factors. It's the condition of the clay, conditioning, how, if it's soft, is it dry. All of that will affect. See how I just notched this? That'll make that sit on there even better. It did. And I'll notch this too, probably. And of course it'll have the height of the eyebrow. I just got to make this. I'll make this work. It'll go further out too on the end of this. This will get covered in black to help aid in making it look like it's that needs to be notched, obviously, right here. It's a different thing. Look how soft this is. Just by pushing that on there, it's so freaking weird. But it's flesh colored. It's good for the insides of the mouth and gums and stuff. It's what I used so far on the other thing, like the the killer whale. I should have just called that a killer whale. But that's just something that I will tackle probably in the next stream. I'm just going to do the clay up. Plus it'll have a neck. And I could put like a single layer of clay and then bake it. And then come back and add another layer and all the details. You can do it in stages. It's all depending on how the consistency of the clay, if it's soft, if it's super soft and you're worried about pushing too hard. Also, doing a unified layer everywhere will ensure that I have strength, a minimal amount of strength, you know, whatever that may be. But having a knob there is just a little more mass to give it some kind of stability on. I wouldn't really be twisting and turning. I would try to line this up the best I can first. In fact, I would probably put the clay on here and then put this on here and then tape it and then bake it to where it's set. Well, you want to build the inside of the mouth, which is the gums and the teeth. This is going to be really, really fun to do. That's backwards. Like this. I don't know if I just had that on there backwards. Well, guys, I'm pretty much done for this stream. I'm a dinosaur. I can't believe how nice this turned out. Right now I'm doing a lot of nervous just talking. It's really weird ending the streams for me. But I have to eventually because of sleep and food and stuff like that. But anyhow, cool. Yes. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. I saw 7 people here at one time. And for the most part, 4. Which is really, really good. I was actually pretty low on watch time again. I had 4,001 hours. So this is going to make it safe again. And I'm pretty much in the clear for the rest of a year. Because now the days that are being replaced are less than the ones I'm making now, which is good. It's information y'all didn't really need to know, but I will leave this like this is because I like to do things live or on video. I don't really do things off camera unless it's just cleaning or something you know already about. And we will call this a stream. I have me a nice, here's a side view. That's really a better way of looking at it because it's kind of a 3/4 overhead view. So that definitely looks like a dinosaur. I don't know, it's, I'm amazed. So anyhow, thank you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I know it's the weekend and for spending a little time with me when it's usually your free time to go do other things. It means a lot that you would choose to watch this. I know it's random. I didn't schedule this. I don't have a pattern yet. And I do believe once I start a pattern, a schedule that everybody become familiar with, that we can get more people showing up at one time on the streams, which would be really cool. I'm still figuring everything out, and anyhow, I'm back and I'm active as heck, and I am gonna go ahead and end this stream. One more side view. My gosh, and it's so nice. Anyhow, thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and I will see you again real soon. Really soon. I'm gonna want to keep going on this, probably. That poor lizard. It'll get done eventually. Anyhow, thank you. Until next time, I will see you here again soon. Thank you so much for hanging out.